So now that we've seen tempers flare and we've seen emotions fly about as we try to digest the Anthony and Shayla and Amber saga, I mean, I wanted to get deeper into another storyline, you know what I mean, that we possibly thought could happen. Like, for example, Anthony and Shayla's mom. Because it's not like Shayla's mom is that old, and hey, come on, even Stella has gotten her groove back.
You sure look happy to see your mom.
Yeah, man.
If Stella can get her groove back, what about Angelina? No, guys, I know, the woman is married. I understand the whole context of that. But I mean, we can only read from what they're giving us on screen. So let's put this into context. It's not like Anthony is like new to this whole idea of, an older woman.
I'm sorry. I was out.
Yeah, you were. It kind of felt good.
That's correct. Much of that has happened way before. They've had relationships like this before. So I guess what's the problem? What could be stopping this whole idea of Angelina and Anthony? And as I said before, it would actually make the perfect karma for the story because after all, hey, Shayla did steal her best friend's man at the time. So this would make the actual perfect karma, but we know that Anthony has it in him to date an older lady or to cross the line with an older lady in weird enough times because Amber was very much present in this time as well. Not married yet, but she was present. Well, since it takes two to tango, what exactly did Mr. Brody mean when he said this?
Whatever it is you got going on with Anthony and this baby,
And this babe, oh,
don't have your daughter in your mess. And don't be like your mother.
Why not? Why not be like her mother? What does Mr. Brody know that we do not know? Does Mr. Brody know something else that we don't know? Perhaps that, Angelina has been involved in something like this, some mess like this before, where she has actually gotten very, very much messy and has stolen someone else's man. Who exactly is he talking about? Now, they didn't give us enough clues, but I'm certain that as we go along, we'll see more and more drop along the way. Ladies, you can correct me if I'm correct when I see these things. And I say, is this motherly touch or is this more like, a nice, hey, I really like you kind of touch?
And like I said, the mental health piece is you and your support.
Just a little rub on the arm. No, I've seen that a couple times here and there. But it's almost like it's now starting to come with just different things, especially when he's now starting to be called a king, perhaps.
With a king like you in the family, we certainly have to make sure that he eats like a king.
So these things kind of had me. So the whole idea of the king and the concept of the king, and as I've said before, we've researched with the king, and you've mentioned that Amber has called him king before. And hey, I mean, she calling him a king and a king in the family. So what about Mr. Brody? Mr. Brody's what then? The Archbishop? Is that who Mr. Brody is? Because I'm just quite intrigued by just the way how she treats, and there's a certain level of kid careful glove that she has started to treat Anthony with, time and time again. And at first I thought it was very motherly, but as time goes by, as I've mentioned before, it just seems to me like it's more than motherly love. It could be Stella trying to get her groove back, or she trying to put Anthony in so that way she can get what she needs to get. After all, hey, the mother is manipulative to the point that she will actually pimp her daughter out just to collect the spoils from it nonetheless.
I still expect to get that.
Okay. I mean, well, I can just cash you out for the year right now.
Oh, the year sounds amazing with a little interest. I'll bring it on in.
I got you.
The embrace was long, it was slow. She seemed to be enjoying the embrace as well. I don't know. Ladies, you probably have to chip in here and tell me, is there something to read into this? Like, is there something that I can go off of? Because there has just been inklings over and over and over again inside the skit. She has taken on to no other man except Anthony. No, I understand. Maybe we could talk about the fact that, she wants the contracts and the cash and all of those things. But, I mean, guys, Anthony's already in the bag. The truth is, Anthony's already in the bag. After all, he is perceiving to be the father of Shayla's child. So no matter what they do, they can collect child support at any given time. Anytime you want to think about it. I mean, so marriage really doesn't really even, you don't even have to have marriage at this point now because he has to take care of this particular child. So my question is just, all right, why is it so deep? Why, what's this king thing about? That's what my question is. And why concern yourself about Anthony's most intimate times?
Toilet seat.
That is correct. You are very perceptive. That is a gold toilet seat. Whether you're up or whether you're down, and even in your most intimate times, even at your lowest, I want you to know that I see you as a king. And that's the significance of this gold toilet seat.
The golden toilet seat. And I know we talked about the golden toilet seat, and some people said, well, hey, you know, I mean, of course, after all, he is the golden goose laying the golden eggs. But it's not like Shayla's mom is broke. It's not like Mr. Brody is broke at all. I mean, they have some amount of money, sure. Can she get more cash? Sure. But what is the significance of her building Anthony up as much as she's building him up here? Is it that she thinks that, you know, he might go back to Amber? Is that what she's thinking in her mind? There are so many unanswered questions in all of this. But it's almost as if, you know, Mr. Brody knew a thing or two as to what Angelina had going on, which is exactly why he mentioned something like this.
So you stirring up a bunch of mess again.
What?
And I got to come in and save our family every time.
Why does he always have to save the family? Why is it Mr. Brody's always call on to save the family? And these were just things I had to go back to because y'all asked me and you say, O'Neill, you need to check out and tell me exactly what do you think about this relationship between Anthony and Angelina?
Now, what he's done is had a baby outside of his marriage.
And guess what? That marriage has been crumbling because I heard something about her sleeping with Wayne before their wedding. So let me tell you something. It was doomed from the beginning. And don't you act like you don't know what I'm talking about.
And therein lies the code, I think, to this entire thing. How does she know that Mr. Brody knows what she's talking about? So the question is, was Mr. Brody already in a marriage and she pretty much unseated and, you know, I mean, destroyed that particular marriage and took someone else's husband, which is, I mean, a presumption that we all have, that she has taken someone's husband, which is the reason why she could make a claim like this, or she could say something like this. Because, I mean, hey, why would you say something if it's not true or if it doesn't exist at all? So that's just my question. And that's where I ask and leave all of this on in just thinking, you know what? Maybe it is Stella wants to get her groove back. Maybe, you know, maybe it is that Anthony is, sure, he may be a son-in-law, but I mean, a fruitful son-in-law, a kingly son-in-law. I mean, is this how cougars react? Is this how cougars act in the moment? I mean, I've had my encounters with one or two cougars, but I'm not certain. So I wanted to get a viewpoint from the mass. Because I believe that Angelina has some liking for Anthony because it's going a little bit far now in terms of the amount of gifts and the amount of compliments and the amount of stroking of his ego that she's actually doing. Is it that she has now learned how to deal with these type of men? Or is it just that Angelina is just as sneaky and she knows how to teach the game to Shayla and is willing to get some for herself? Well, let me know what you guys think. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I'm gonna talk to y'all soon.